Welcome to Athena in Truth's YouTube channel, where we provide tips and insights for you to live your best life. I am your host, Heidi Freyland. Hello, everyone. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Heidi.
Happy holidays to everyone. Robin and I wanted to do a quick little recording before Christmas, and we thought we would do this one today on how other people affect us in our lives. So we're going to start off with having Athena explain to us what is meant by this statement. People who are angered by those who don't believe in them and are really shown their own reason for a lack of success.
Yeah. Oftentimes, when people are trying to pursue something in their experience that might be deemed as something that is more not mainstream, let's use that term, and other people are not supportive of it. Perhaps there are some parents or educators or someone that has been maybe at the forefront of your experience with you. And then as they see you pursue something that is of a different type of creation, they may not be in support of it. Let's say if you want to be a musician, or you want to be a famous actor, or something that would be deemed as a little bit different. Let's use that term. And so we have heard from many that are pursuing avenues such as this, that they actually become very angered by those that are not in support of what it is that they are trying to accomplish in the direction that they want to go with their career or their life. Yeah. And we would say that that anger, in fact, that one is expressing towards someone who is not supporting them, is really your own. It's your own anger directed at yourself, because the person that is coming into your experience and mirroring their disbelief in you and what it is you are attempting to do is actually showing you something that you hold within yourself that's preventative of you actually accomplishing that goal or achieving what it is that you want to. We have heard the stories of those that have moved into the energy of "I will show them." Yeah. But what can happen in that energy, if they are really believing in self and feeling really powerful, then perhaps someone that doesn't believe in them could be used as leverage or possibly assist them in achieving what they want to. But if they are viewing themselves in a little bit of proving energy, or trying to prove, so that doesn't feel so good, then now I'm going to prove this one wrong, rather than accomplish something that means a great deal to me. So it's for you to really identify which of those energies you're feeling when you are pursuing a direction in your life that might be a difficult one, or one that others would find to be difficult. Let's use that term. And so to understand that, if you feel like you're just going to prove someone something, you can actually end up cutting off the nose on your own face, because in your spite, or in that feeling of spite, I will show you what it is that you are thinking is not right. Yeah. You move into opposition, and therefore your experience with the universe becomes oppositional, or something that is difficult for you to move forward or achieve what it is that you want to. And so we just wanted to make you aware that if someone is opposing you, or showing you something that you hold within you by mirroring back something to you that you are finding to be unpleasant, or that something that you don't want to see, let's use that term, that really take a look at what it is you are feeling as they are projecting out to you or mirroring back to you their disbelief in you, and what is stimulated in you, what comes up for you. Because oftentimes a human can end up actually missing out on another opportunity, or something that's being formed by the universe that would be very satisfying to them, that could actually be a little bit different than what they themselves thought that they wanted to create. A human is a feeler and a chooser of feelings based upon its past lives, its life it's living, and its lineage. And so that data is all being received by the divine part of you in the culmination of you. And you might have an idea of what it is that you want to achieve in your life that would be very satisfying to you. But you are the human. You are the feeler and picker and chooser of emotion that you release to the universe to cultivate those experiences. It has a lot of data, a lot more data than perhaps you do. It has your past lives, your lineage, and everything you have lived in the life that you're in, that it is using as a means to culminate experiences. And so it is very important that you remain open to the flow of what might come to you, and not actually be so hyper focused on a definitive thing or way that you want to achieve your success. We will tell you that the universe will satisfy you, but oftentimes it'll satisfy you in ways that you could not possibly expect if you would just open up your perception and your belief and your trust that an experience that's going to be very satisfying to you is going to come. When a human becomes fixated on creating and efforting something into their experience, and they oftentimes will say, I don't know what direction to go, because they're going in all different directions, trying to make something happen, and they feel very frustrated by that experience. It's because you're asking the human to do something that it's not designed to do. If you could live your life in free of condemnation and judgment, and just allow yourself as a human to go out and experience things, and then release the feelings that you have in regard to those experiences, and then view your tool, your human, as worthy and as lovable, you would align to your source just by doing that. The love of self and the surrender to the free will choice that the human has to make its decision on how it feels in its life is what creates alignment. It's what that love of self is, what equals or is the same vibration or tone of the divine part of you. And then the experiences are culminated immediately in that divine part of you, and they would flow to you without effort. You wouldn't be saying that, I don't know what to do next, I don't know how to do it, I'm trying, I'm working hard, all of these types of things. That's the human in the lower third dimensional reality, efforting in its experience, trying to make something happen, and all the while feeling frustrated and irritated as they do it, because you're asking the human to do something it isn't designed to do. So our advice to you in this YouTube today would be live your life and allow yourself to feel whatever it is you're feeling. Don't try to change it or make it go away or police yourself in your observation. Just observe yourself in it and love yourself for releasing energy, and move into alignment by accepting and allowing and surrendering, and then watch how the universe conforms and flows to you some very exciting and aligning opportunities that you would not believe would be possible in a very short amount of time.
So you just touched on there about, some people move to trying to prove others wrong. And I think that's an area where there's a little grayness, because, there's been stories over the years of athletes and different people that have been told that they can't do something. And their motivation is to prove them wrong. Their motivation is to show that they can overcome and do well. And when they succeed, they do really feel good. So is there any benefit sometimes in someone or using that energy to prove themselves if someone makes them think they can't do something?
Yeah. We would say that it moves more from, rather than proving oneself, it moves them more to a power position, or one that ignites a power within them, a believability and a perception of their strength, where one that is opposing others is more moved to victimization and a depowering or disempowering state, if you could understand. And so you would be able to tell the difference by the way that you feel. When one becomes spiteful or oppositional, they are disempowering themselves in the lower tone that they're holding. But when one becomes engaged or powerful because of what has occurred, they move more into alignment, because they are aligning to the belief or perception within themselves, where in the oppositional energy, they are pushing against the perception and the belief in someone else, if that makes sense to you.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I was just talking to Robin before we came on about I think it's called The Four Agreements book, Don Miguel Ruiz. And we were touching on the part about assumptions, and how oftentimes, like based on your past experiences, or maybe even lineage or past lives, when you have something happen in your experience, you might have, like, say somebody, your spouse is late. Normal, oh, they're hung up at work, or oh, they must have stopped here to get something. Or you might have oh, they're with another person.
Yeah.
And you might, start to put energy behind the one that maybe triggers into your wound. And then you create a scenario for yourself where the person comes home and you're irritated because you think that they've done something, and they really haven't necessarily done something. It's just your assumption.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah. But, once again, when a human is making assumptions, they don't feel good as they do it. They are immediately moving into a feeling of distrust, a feeling of betrayal, a feeling of fear, some type of fear that they are entering into that would make them culminate that thought. Yeah. And we have said before that thoughts aren't necessarily negative, and they don't necessarily need to be made to go away or controlled. Let's use that term. They need to be honored. They need to be figured out on why they are occurring. Yeah. And so we know immediately when someone moves to distrust that there's been a violation or a break in their trust, and in some way that they have been betrayed, either themselves or someone in their lineage. And so we know that there is a wound, and it's probably in the heart center because it has something to do with relationships. We're just using that one as an example. And so if you think that you're going to heal a wound by control or governing yourself, or trying to stop thoughts that contribute to what you deem as more thoughts come, in fact, because you've not honored the initial thought or healed the initial wound. And therefore, it creates an influx of more larger entrapment, and more thoughts come with that. Yeah. And so once you get the understanding that I don't feel good right now. Yeah. And I'm feeling jealous, and I'm feeling as though I'm coming to conclusions, you observe that in yourself, and you love yourself, because you're going to know right away, this has been my experience. I saw my father cheat on my mother. I saw my husband did this 10 years ago. So I know right away that I'm carrying something as a wound within me. And so now I move to alignment in the love of myself, in the conclusion that I'm drawing from the way that I have lived my life. And does that mean that I want to be this way? It doesn't. You're going to change quite significantly when you align to your source, but you're not going to align to your source in condemning and judging yourself in the emotion or in the thought that you're having. You have to understand and know yourself. This is what it means to know the self. I know myself, and I have a right to what I have chosen in my free will, by the way. I have free will to choose a signal, a way that I feel, and I'm going to send that out to the universe. That's what the human does. It's a picker and chooser and a releaser of emotional charges of energy to the divine part of itself based upon what it's going through in its experience. And so once it's done that, it's your job to move to the love of self, just for that, just for the release of energy that you had in free will choice. I got that energy. Yeah. I know you're aggravated. I know you're jealous. I know you're worried. I know that you feel scared, whatever it is that you're feeling. And so this is aligning to what the human has chosen in its free will to express to its divine counterpart. And you just allow that. There's too much going on in your society, a denial of feelings, a denial of emotion, an observation of yourself to the point where you can't stand it anymore. It's miserable for you. And this is not how you were meant to live. You're not meant to control and govern the human. You are meant to live in this free way that you can choose anything you want to in how you express yourself in your experience. And you immediately love yourself just for experiencing, just for expressing. And you in no way try to deny it or choose it. And you will immediately notice the relief within you. And you will notice the decrease in the negativity, or what you deemed as negativity, once you honor yourself in what it is that you have chosen to feel. The increase again in negativity or thoughts that are coming that you are trying to control, by the way, is actually happening in your denial of allowing your human to experience in any way that it feels fit to do it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's talk a little bit about, because I know the holidays are coming up and it can be tough for people when they get together with people that stimulate them. And so one of the things that sometimes has come up for me periodically is feeling misunderstood, or like someone is seeing me in a way that is not how I felt I was portraying, or that I wanted to portray. And sometimes it's difficult when it's someone close to you because you feel hurt or you feel angered or whatever. What would be the best way to handle a situation where you feel like you're well-meaning, or you're somebody misunderstanding you, without it, like, blowing up into something? What would be the best way to handle that situation?
Well, to quickly observe yourself in your need to be received in a confirming way that would be satisfying to you. to observe yourself and how you feel when that doesn't occur. What is the emotion that is actually activated within you by someone not seeing you the way that you want to be seen? Yeah, this would be the first way of identifying what the emotion is that's embedded in you, that is actually bringing the person to you, that is reflecting that feeling that you don't like the feel of. Yeah. And so we would ask you, Heidi, if you're willing to share or not, or if you have a hypothetical solution. But what is the feeling when someone perceives you in a way that doesn't really match the way that you want to be perceived? How does that make you feel emotionally?
Well, the word that comes up to mind is misunderstood, but that's not really an emotion. Let me think.
You're not misunderstood because you're understanding perfectly what they're projecting at you. Yeah.
Right.
So as someone projects something at you that you fully understand is not in alignment with the way you want to feel, what is it that you feel?
Maybe not being seen.
Not being seen, not valued. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
A little bit worthless or not equaled to or as important as. Yeah. Any other emotion?
Well, they probably all roll together at some level, but probably a little bit of a dismissed feeling.
Yeah, just insignificant. You don't matter.
Yeah.
I don't think you matter at
Yeah.
all. How does it feel to just not matter? You're worthless. You don't matter. How does that feel?
Well, I mean, if it doesn't feel great, it feels bad. It doesn't feel good. No,
Yeah.
I would
But
say.
can you understand in your experience why you might have drawn that conclusion or that feeling? Did you ever remember over your whole experience feeling
Yes.
worthless as though you didn't matter?
Yes.
And you
Mhm.
just said to us, but I don't like that about myself, didn't you?
Yeah.
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 And this is not love of self. Love of self would recognize that anyone that was in your experience would choose that signal. They would feel that way. Yeah. And so this is where we would direct you at the love of self. I know why you feel that way. This is the divine part of you talking to you, the human, just engaging with you and letting you know, I got your energy. I totally get what you're going through. I don't blame you at all for choosing that feeling. I understand exactly what it feels like to be worthless. I can see what you're going through. I'm with you. I feel you. But I've created the opposite of that for you in the love of what you are doing. Yeah. This is alignment. Now the human right away feels recognized. It feels satisfied. It feels aligned to its source. My source gets me. My source is not condemning or judging me. My source gets me. Do you understand the difference? Do you understand the difference, Heidi?
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said.
So this is alignment. Alignment is I'm getting into an agreement with the way my human has chosen to feel in the experience. I'm not going to say I don't like the feeling or like the way that I am now. I'm just going to allow and surrender to it and align to it. Yeah. Yeah.
So is there any benefit in pre-paving or setting intentions if you're going into, a holiday season that can be stressful? Is there a benefit to setting some of those expectations or not expectations, but putting the feelings out there of how you want to feel? Is that a benefit or not necessarily?
It's always a benefit to pre-pave, but it would have to be something that you're actually really feeling. So you would have to cultivate an experience for yourself that really got you feeling good about self, that really made you feel fulfilled and happy and joyful. And all of your focus or attention would be pouring into that direction. And therefore, the universe would reveal only things that would feel that way to you. Yeah. Because you would be sucking the energy out of the things that maybe you might have dwelled on without doing that. Let's use that term. Yeah. So absolutely, there is great benefit, but where there isn't great benefit, let's just make this point, is to become activated and then try to do that. Yeah, that doesn't work. So it would be to stimulate yourself in ways that are positive when you are not activated or tripped off about something. But once you become activated, if something happens in your experience, and then you try to force yourself to go in a direction that you would prefer, that will not have a good effect, and it will actually increase your problem in your separation. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you, Robin. Thank you, Athena. And Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to everyone.
You're welcome. Good day to you, Heidi.
Thank you.